All right, we're going to make this nice and short. FPV, drones, what do they call them? Like murder swarms or something crazy like that. But anyways, I'm going to preface this with 10 or so years ago, I used to fly FPV. It was an awesome hobby. I had a lot of fun, met a lot of cool people. With that being said, if we would have more than 2 or 3 people together, we would almost be in a battle to make sure that we wouldn't wash each other out. We could do all variations of different bandwidths, different power outputs, this, that, and the other. But if we sat too close to each other, we could almost brown each other out, so we wouldn't have like video feed. And then if you would have that one guy that's not on like 25 milliwatts that plugs in with his 800 milliwatt, it would literally blind everybody else out at the same time. With that being said, I know that technologies have changed and it's easy to actually tune them properly, but at the same time, it's frequencies. And frequencies are easily countered, okay? You could set up a ground station. With that ground station, it has frequency monitoring, copying, and mimicking and blasting out, right? So that's stuff that we used to do. So you could set up a bubble around, say, your trench complex or the forward line of troops. You could set up all along, you could have like these ground stations that are literally receiving whatever signals that are coming in through it and blasting something to either so you can relay it to go further, or you have it set up properly to where you could counter it out. Now, all this stuff takes power. If you're on like the front lines, you might not have power, but you could definitely set it up with intentions to have defensive positions. So you could get maybe not a generator, but maybe like a large jackery box, which is one of those like it's a power inverter. It's a battery generator, I guess is what it is, but it recharges and you can take it back and you can solar charge all this different stuff, or you can actually run power to where you want your stronghold to be, and you could set up the bubble around the area with different ground stations pre-programmed, but you got to know how to program it to when you receive signal from these drones coming in, you can counter it. And all this stuff nowadays is easily done in like split seconds. I wouldn't have to like have my cheat sheet over here doing it. You have these computers that can literally do it on the fly, and literally blast out the frequency to drown out the drone. Now, will it still be able to fly? Sure. Could you the transmitter and the receiver, could you, I guess, mask that? Sure, you could, but the big thing is getting rid of the video feed. So when they're coming into like your freaking positions, you could brown them out so they can't see where they're getting ready to, I guess they could, sure, it's still deadly, but it's also, you have an opportunity to survive. It's just stuff to think about that's not being talked about. It's very easy to counter anything that is on in a radio wave or power. It's so easy to counter it. Now, there's some stuff like the DJI, the digital stuff that is not the analog. The digital stuff's a little bit harder. However, everything can be countered. Just takes a little bit of time and effort. Do a little bit of Googling. You can also get some cheat sheets for what frequencies line up together, what power outputs can, I guess it can overlap into the extra frequencies. So if you don't have a cool ground station that's sending and receiving, you could do it the old school method. But it's easily done, and considering they're getting billions and billions and billions of dollars, it wouldn't be that much to set up a ground station to counter it, because I know our ground station that we set up was like $500, $600. So imagine if you had a $2,000, $3,000 per ground station, what you could make happen. Think about it. It's nothing crazy, but it might save a life.